say something?
Yes.
I am really loving this new countdown music that we got going on. This is so cool. I'm just like, hey, I'm like, okay, anyway. Hey, everybody. What's up? This is a Fly Nubian Money where we help you to maximize your mindset and master your mindset and maximize your money. Listen, today we are diving into a conversation that's got social media on fire. This is a viral post claiming that women over 30, y'all, they said we 50% off. And after 35, you guys, these motherfuckers say we on clearance. So let's be real. Society loves to tell women that their value decreases with age, but we want to ask you, and I want you to put that in the comments. Do you think that's actually true? Are we measuring a woman's worth by outdated and harmful standards? Who really benefits from pushing this narrative? Because the reality is, there are so many women that hit their prime in their 30s and their 40s, y'all. Trust me, I know. And beyond mentally, financially, emotionally, and even physically. So why is there still pressure for women to secure a man before a certain age? Why is it about us securing a man? Why are men the prize? Are they really the prize? That's another question I have for you. Okay. And then why in particular are Black women told that their desirability drops after 30? That's what I want to know. So I got the dopest panel today because today we're going to break it all down. The truth behind the stereotypes, the power that actually comes with age, and how we need to stop letting society define your worth. So, y'all, to keep things fun, we playing a little 50% off or 100% winning, okay? So we're going to play a game. It's a fact or myth game, and we're going to challenge some of the biggest misconceptions about women, aging, dating, and success. All right? So y'all know we got the dopest chicks on the planet, and we have, oh my God, I'm so excited. We have somebody new on our panel, somebody new joining the Fly Nubian Buddy. So I'm going to introduce her first. This is Miss Robin. Robin is an entertainment and industry veteran. Y'all, I can't wait for her to bring the heat because she already done seen how crazy we were behind the scenes. So I know she could just get just as crazy as the rest of these fools that's on this damn panel.
I'm new. I'm just trying to be a little demure today.
Demure. And then we have this one right here. She is the producer, the dope producer of all things, Miss Black Hollywood. Oh, we gotta do the Gwen. There's applause in the thing. You should do the applause when I introduce everybody. Okay, and then rounding up the next person, we got Dr. Alicia. Well, she told me not to call her doctor, but there's no way I can introduce you without calling you doctor, baby, because you worked hard for that doctorate. This is Dr. Alicia Watkins. She is a therapist. She's a family counselor. She is all of the things. So it's going to be really interesting getting her perspective because we're all of a certain age. But, Alicia tends to have, ideas about, that they're a little bit different because she comes from a sociologist and a psychology background. So I always love to hear her perspective. And then right here, we got this one right here. The brilliant brand monetization strategist herself, Dr. Lene Javed. And actually, Dr. Lene actually is the one who kind of brought this topic up to us because she saw this video that we're getting ready to show right now, and she thought it would be an interesting conversation. So let's watch the video, and then let's get some feedback on what you guys think, and then also in the comments. We'd love for you to talk back to us and talk back to us. So make sure you put in the comments, talk to us. But those two questions that I asked early on. What are your thoughts? Are we losing our value? Are women losing our value at 30, 35? Are Black women on clearance at 40? Like what's really going on? So put that in the comments because we'd love to see what your response is. And then for everybody else, let's watch this video.
Yeah, 27, time to sell. 30, 50% off. Over 35 on clearance. 40, outlet. 50, Goodwill, Salvation Army.
That fool said Goodwill, Salvation Army. First of all, his lighting sucks, so I don't want to listen to him. You can't be talking bad about women and you got dark lights.
Who was that man?
That's Kevin Samuels.
Oh, yeah.
The infamous Kevin Samuels. So, Dr. Lene, what do you think? Because I know you wanted to talk about this BS, and it's interesting to see. Are there any men in the chat that think this way too? But Dr. Lene, why do you want to talk about this?
Because I think that society believes that. I think that society feels, not us as women, but I think that society feels that as you get older, your value starts to decline. I know we hear about it in like the entertainment industry, like we hear about it there, but in real life and relationships and marriage and children and just the aging process, it's like as you get older, you lose your value. But I don't think that that's true. Like I'm 48 and I feel like I'm literally just getting my stride. Like I'm just really getting into my power and just feeling myself, and life is good. Who I am, how I communicate for myself, how I operate, how I show up for other people. Like I'm having my best season. So how can I be declining?
Yeah,
And or to a man, like I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. Those words, that kind of terminology. 50, goodwill. What? Get out of here.
Yeah, that's stupid. Dr. Alicia, when I was at this little restaurant last Thursday, cool little restaurant, a lot of brothers be there, and so this gentleman told me, and he had like synthetic braids that started about right here, that went all the way down his back, and he showed me a picture of his homeboy, and he was like, "Hey, I want to hook you up with him." Dude looked like he was about 68. And he said he was 5 foot tall, so he was shorter than me. And I was like, oh, I tried to be nice because he was not very attractive. And I was like, oh, he's probably a little bit older than me. This ninja said, older than you. The older you are, you lose your value. He said, men age like fine wine, women age like milk. So after I cursed him out, what do you think about same ideal? Because it sounds like this is some Kevin Samuels kind of type BS. What do you think about the whole idea that we lose our value?
Yeah, so there's two things going on. There's this Kevin Samuels way of thinking that is very divisive and derogatory toward Black women. And so that's one thing that's happening. And there is a lot of sound on the internet that supports what Kevin Samuels talks about. And these particular individuals, they state their problems and struggles with establishing and maintaining healthy relationships with women. And instead of looking at themselves, a lot of people turn around and say, what's wrong with an entire group of individuals? So that's one thing happening. The second thing going on is what Dr. Lene is saying, how society views women as they get older and versus how they view men when they get older. So words pertaining to men is they grow older gracefully and they get gray hair and they look more distinguished. Whereas when we look at women as they get older, the more things are thrust upon them as menopausal and crazy and all of these things that you will have toward women. At the end of the day, I think that there are a lot of ageism. There's a lot of derogatory comments made about women, and that it's unfortunate. I think that we need to love and support each other, of course, and show compassion. And one thing that I have been talking to my husband about all day is empathy.
Empathy is very real.
I've been talking to him about it all day long today. So.
I want to ask you, Robin, because you're in the industry, and I know people say this. He might be saying this for shock value. Could this be that he's saying this for shock value, or is this something that really is really echoed in real life? Is this like art imitating life, or is this like life imitating art? What do you think?
That is such a good question. Honestly, I never leaned into those kinds of thinking. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. I always thought that Black women were the ones who age like fine wine. I mean, look at us. You said at the top of this that we're all women of a certain age. Really? Because I'm looking at okay, so you just said that you are 48 years old, and my eyes went, wow,
right?
Really? I never prescribed to that sort of philosophy. My question is, to who? To who are we 50% off? Like, it's not all Black men that think that. We know that. We know that because they love us. Most of them love us. But it's a few of them, right, who feel this way. And those are the ones that I want to analyze. There's a reason that they feel this way, and it's not because we are aging in an ungraceful way.
Let me tell you why they feel that way. Because they have small penises. We're going to go to break.
Well, small penises, a lack of this, a lack of that, something, right, that's making them not feel their
Small
best.
penises for the most part. So we're going to go to break. Are we going to break right now?
I think that's a good time to break. This is a good show right here. But I'm biased. If you are just tuning in, you are watching Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. My name is Tiara Williams. I'm also known as Miss Black Hollywood, and I'm the proud producer of this show because it is lit. If you want to receive notifications for when we go live Monday through Friday, 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All you have to do is text the word Queens to 87948. That's Queens to 87948. That's QUEENS to 87948. Also, if you want to grow your money and not blow your money, all you have to do is go to flynubianmoney.com. There's all kinds of resources, there's courses, there's free giveaways. There's just no reason to be broke in 2025. All you have to do is go to flynubianmoney.com. Obviously, you don't want to be entertained here. You want to know enough to grow. Wait, I need to put that on a shirt. You got to know to grow. Got to know to grow. So know and grow with flynubianmoney.com.
So I'm agreeing with Lady K 2024. These motherfuckers got ED is what's going on. So let me ask you, Tiara, is what is this whole idea? Because Robin talked about this thing about women getting better. What is it about a man who would rather be with a younger woman than to be with somebody his age?
I'm not sure, but I know that we all have preferences, right? And that's okay. It's okay to have preferences, whether, I think when I see older men with younger women, I feel like maybe they went through a marriage already, or maybe they already experienced some part of life, and now they just want to feel alive. And maybe sometimes youthful women make them feel a certain way. So I don't necessarily take it personally, or I don't look now, I wonder when I look at people like Hugh Hefner, who used to just keep these like 20-year-old women, and he lived till he was like 105. I don't know how old he was for real, but it just felt like maybe that was the energy. Let me keep these young women around me. That way I always feel in control. Maybe I always feel youthful. Who knows? But good luck to them.
Dr. LeNay.
So I was going to say one of the reasons why. So
I was going to say their penises barely even work when they're that age, right? And then they want to get these young girls.
You bring it up a good point, because this is the debate that we were having about this conversation. So me and this fellow, we were talking about the video was sent to me was because we were having the debate, and his point was the reason why men are still dapper and attractive and silver gang is because they can still have children. So their value does not decrease because they can still populate. As a woman gets older, she can't operate the same way. Her body starts to shut down. She can't have kids. So a man can go and get a younger woman, and he can have kids well into whatever his age is.
With help.
He can always find a woman with help. Sometimes with help, sometimes not.
Most of the time.
And so that was the point that he was making. As you get older, you can't build a family anymore. You can't
have kids at 50.
Listen, David Banner, I just saw a video with David Banner the other day. He said he got sick. He looked around and realized he didn't have no family, no kids. He's 50-something years old. Now he's looking for a wife.
Yeah. And he's going to be a grandpa taking his kid to school. Like, no, ain't nobody trying to be playing in that playground. Like, so that point to me, what your friend said is bunk. Remember a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about the food thing, right? And they said at the age of 40, a lot of men are suffering from erectile dysfunction. So you think somebody wants your broke penis ass doing anything? Like, you guys really think y'all the prize and your penis don't even work? Is insane. Anyway, we're about to play this game, you guys.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
That's the thing, right? Robin, like y'all really out here just loud and wrong, right? Talking about what you guys can do and what you guys got. Your penis don't even work. What do you mean?
You guys are crazy.
Gwen, bring the game up. Bring the graphic for the game. Fact or myth? The over 40 edition. Okay, so this is what's going to happen, guys. And then you guys also put it in the comments, okay? So we're going to ask a question. We haven't seen the questions yet. We don't even know what the questions are, but we're going to ask a question. Gwen is going to put a question up, and we're going to hold up. It's a lot of comments. I don't know what y'all saying because y'all going fast, but y'all, it's probably some broke penis people who are talking right now in the comments. Anyway, so what you're going to put up when she asks the question, we're going to put up, or there's fact or myth. You also put in the comments. So I got a fact for pink because women are mostly factual, and we got myth for blue. I just made that up because mostly men are myth.
I almost went with blue, but I went with green instead. Okay.
Okay, so good. All right, so y'all, okay. Gwen, what's the first question? Fact or myth? Dating after 40 is nearly impossible for Black women. All right, what y'all got? Shit. Let me tell you something about these options out here in these dating streets.
Hello.
Hold on. They didn't say if the options were good and great. It says is it almost impossible. It is not impossible. You got a lot of opportunities. Are they great opportunities? That's different.
I mean, you just gotta weed through them. Robin, what you think? Are you single?
I am married. I have been married. This is my 29th year of marriage.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
I'm married. But I will tell you all a little secret.
Okay.
Which is right now, Tiara will call me like a big shot executive, which I was. And now I'm doing casting for a particular company on a particular show called The Golden Bachelor. So I'm going to tell you something. There are options out there, and the women are all age. What's that?
Good options?
Good options. Good options. I'm not saying they're always Black options. So I'm just going to say that out loud.
Okay, let's talk about
Black option is not a good option.
I just want to be very clear. My husband is blackity black.
No, let's talk about that though, because are you willing? And we'll start with the single ladies to step out and yeah.
Ain't no way. I always say,
girl, you making me tear everything up over here.
Black.
Don't you bring that over here.
I'm gonna tell you something. I agree with you 100%. I'm the same way. I'll say it all. I've never had sex with a white man. I just haven't. But when you get up there, and I'm talking to women who are 60 plus, 60 and early 70s, they look good. And the
white
older
men?
we get, the more. No, I'm talking about women. Oh, the white women too. Yes, they look good, but they're all in shape. They all work out. They all play pickleball. They're all doing the things. And their complaint is they can't find a man who keeps up with them.
Yeah,
they ain't looking for pot bellies and little penises anymore.
And see, and so that's what I'm seeing out here, because you said there's definitely options, but I'm seeing the guys with the big stomachs, which I know that their penises don't exceed the stomach. So it's just like, yeah, no, you're not even an option. Dr. Alicia, if you were single, would you date outside your race?
No, I would never date outside my race personally. I'm not telling everybody to believe the way I have. It's just that it's my Black background and how I was raised and how I grew up. It just tainted my vision. And I just can't see anybody else other than a Black person as attractive, a Black man as attractive. So it's me. It's not you. It's me. I just can't. And so I was born in Tuskegee. I was raised in Gary, Indiana. I just didn't interact with them at all until I was too late. I was in college and it was already cemented in my head about what was attractive. So there's your answer. But I got some other things to say if you want to hear it now, but I don't know if I talk too long. So you can go.
Let me go to the next question.
Okay, go to the next question.
Okay. Because I know you got some statistics, right?
We got stats.
Okay, I want you to share. Okay. All right, let's go to the next one. Brian Shanklin, I think, is definitely one of those guys with a small penis. Let's go. Let's see. If you're single after 45, it's best to lower your standards to find a man. Shit. I wish the hell I would.
What?
All right, in the comments, what do you think? You think that we should be lowering our standards to find them? First of all, what I want to know is why aren't these men finding us? I'm not out there looking for a man, right? I was married 132 years. You guys know that. So, I'm enjoying my peace. I'm enjoying like peace. And so if a man finds me, because that's what I'm looking, and it's a bunch of trash out there. Of course, there's a bunch of trash, but there's one good guy that's gonna find me. Ladies, if you are looking for a man, if you are trying to find a man, you're doing it all wrong. That's what I say. What do you say, Tiara?
I wonder if at some age though, because the question was about lowering your standards, but I wonder if the way that we used to think before, like maybe in our 30s or 20s, is different from the way we should be thinking now in terms of like just being a little bit more not compromising, but just saying like, okay, here are the things that I'll take or subscribe to. Maybe this doesn't work, or maybe I don't like this about him, but I can rock with him if he's a good man of good character. Is that the same thing as lowering your standards? I
No,
guess that's my
because
question to the queens.
I think you have to like compromise in certain situations. Like it's not going to be your way or the highway. What do you think, Dr. Lene?
I think as you get older, your desires change. So I don't think it's your boundaries that are changing. I don't think you're lowering your boundaries. I think your desires change, right? What you're looking for in your 20s and you're thinking about the next 50, 60 years of your life versus what you're looking for in your 40s and you're thinking about the next 30 in retirement, they're just different, right? You're not having kids with this person. So the boundaries around their family structure and their mental health. I mean, not their mental health, because that should be intact, but you know what I'm saying? At 20, what you want and what you're looking for from somebody for the rest of your life versus being 40 and what you're looking for, they're just different. But I don't think they have to do with lowering your boundaries as much as where you are in your life and what you want, what you need, things like that.
I get it. And I could totally see Brian Shanklin as being a passport bro, because he said he's about to be a passport bro. That makes a lot of sense, sir.
That's
It makes a
cool.
lot of sense. Yeah,
That's cool. Do your thing, Brian.
yeah, don't let the Lord hit you with a good Lord split you. Do we have to, Dr. Alicia? Do we have to compromise more? Like, do we have to lower our standards at the older we get?
I wouldn't say lower your standards. I think that you have to be realistic about what the type of people you come across. I think nobody's going to be perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect relationship or a perfect person. But what you're looking for is somebody who's willing to talk about how they feel, to process things, and somebody who's willing to grow and learn. That's it. You're not looking for perfection. You're just looking for someone who's willing to, and who has enough self-esteem where they won't have a meltdown if they make a mistake or if you bring up a concern and they just go ballistic. That's not a good sign of that person being in a relationship with anybody. You just want someone who's at least willing and open to grow, learn, and explore. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, and that's understandable. You want somebody that you can learn, grow, and explore, and not somebody that's perfect. Just like you said, somebody's perfect for you, right? God made somebody that's perfect for you. I'm sure your husband is not all the things, right, Robin? He's not everything. Like, he's not a perfect man, but he's perfect for you. If you've been with this man for 29 years, he's perfect for you.
100%. 100%. And I don't understand this aging thing. Is it about our looks or is it about something else? We grow as we get older. We're wiser, we're stronger, we're smarter. So I don't know what it is.
Yeah. I question a man who looks at younger women and who like dates younger women exclusively, because I feel like there's something wrong with them. I feel like there's something wrong with their self-esteem, their self-worth. Maybe they have a God complex. Maybe they can't banter with the woman their age. Like, what do you have in common with if you're 50, what do you have in common with a 20-year-old? Like, you guys don't even listen to the same music. You're not even in the same decade, in the same, right? So what do you have in common?
This doesn't have anything to do with that. It has to do with what Passport Bro was talking about. And I'm not going to say manipulation. Let's just say easier to bend to their will. Let's say it that way. That's a nice way of saying it.
Yeah, manipulation.
A woman who's a little bit more seasoned and speaks up for herself and knows who she is and has boundaries. At 20, you can kind of mold this vessel into what you want it to be without any, I'm not going to say opposition, but without any pushback.
Right. Before we go to break real quick, there's a statistic that talks about how women's income increases also, right? So that could be a source of intimidation. Gwen, on that slide that we got about the women's income increasing as Black women increase their income by an average of 25% between their 30s and their 40s, making this a financial peak. And so maybe there's an intimidation there. I don't know. Let's discuss it when we come back from the break.
I know you're busy, you got things to do, and you can't take us on the go with you every single day. Good news for you. We are now on Spotify. So if you can't watch us, now you can listen to us on Spotify. Search Fly Nubian Money and all the episodes shall appear. All you have to do is like, subscribe, leave a 5-star rating, leave some comments, tell people how you love us so that when other people come along and are looking for a great show to watch, they can find Fly Nubian Money too. One last thing, and just in case you've been sitting under a rock, Fly Nubian Money now has an investment club. We are the Fly Nubian Money Club. It's easy. All you have to do is go to flynubianmoneyclub.com, and I am committed to bringing in top experts from all industries to help you level up. They're teaching us the skills that we need to compete in this market. We often say that nobody is coming to save us, not the government, but guess what? We're coming to save us. I'm coming to save you with the Fly Nubian Money Club. So listen, all you have to do again is go to flynubianmoneyclub.com. We have a 30-day free trial set up just for you, just for those people that are struggling. Even if you ain't struggling, you ain't got to struggle. I'm coming. Okay, let me stop playing. I'll see you soon.
So y'all, I was talking to Marlo Layson yesterday, right? And when is Marlo doing her training?
Soon.
Okay.
And not next. It's the 8th, I think. Let me look at the date.
Okay. So if you guys don't know anything about the Fly Nubian Money Club, Dr. Lene just was there dropping them bombs last Saturday. I've been on there, And so I was talking to Margot yesterday, and Margot has helped her company increase their SEO by like 100%. And do you know when you increase your SEO, your search engine optimization, that increases your revenue. And so she's going to be showing you how to increase your SEO. It's going to be crazy. This is a game changer for a lot of people who are online, who have businesses. This is going to be a game changer for you. So you better go to flynubianmoneyclub.com and sign up, y'all, because it's going to be off the chain.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So we're gonna go back to the questions. But somebody said something that I think we haven't. I think single Black women without kids age better, but marriage seems to age women overall. Health-wise, women incur more stress being married and having kids. I think, okay, so there's two parts to that. There might be some truth to it. For me, though, like, I'll be out working my kids. I have 4 kids, and I'm at the gym. Like, I'm working just as hard, and my boys are athletes. So for you to say that, like, we're not in great health and we age more, I don't think so. I think kids kind of keep you young. Now, them Negroes be stressing you the hell out. They might make your ass age.
I think, you know what, remember that book that we that I was talking about on one of the episodes? It said that basically, I can't think of the book. It added 15 hours of unpaid labor, like marriage adds 15 hours of unpaid labor to your life, like to the life of the woman, because they're carrying around the kids. They got to take care of the husband. They got to feed. They got to do food. They got to do all the things. And so in that type of energy, I can see how women be like, man, it adds to my life. I'm not able to focus those 15 hours on me.
Right. That's true. So before we go back to the game, y'all, I want to run another video and I want to discuss it. You guys in the chat too, y'all talking back to us and talking black to us. Keep it up. We like to hear from you. So let's go ahead and run this video.
Why do men say a woman's value decreases as she ages? Damn, you really gonna ask me that? All right, I'm gonna start by saying this, ladies. What is most appealing about y'all is determined by us. If you're a heterosexual woman that like men, then what matters is what we think. Does that make sense? Men are attracted to a woman's purity, a woman's beauty, a woman's femininity, sweetness, her ability to give us peace. And the older a woman gets, these things decrease. Now, not always, but most of the time that's what happens. As one ages, more wear and tear on the body, more experiences with men, a lot of emotional baggage that comes into a relationship that it's not fair for the new guy to have to deal with. A lot of trauma being carried on from previous relationships. So, and people tend to not do work on themselves in between relationships. They tend to move from relationship to relationship, and that's not healthy. So yeah, so the younger the better, to be honest.
So when I'm hearing him say, this is some bullshit, but I see White said, man, what I hear him say is that because we've dealt with all the gaslighting, all the narcissism, all the BS that these men bring in, that it just wears us down and we are no longer. What you think, Robin? Because that's what I hear them say.
The whole thing just makes me laugh. First of all, I respect what he said in terms of what matters to men is important. We do have to listen. We can't just ignore everything they're saying. There are certain things they're attracted to. I get it. But what I don't understand is why the double standard? Don't those same things apply to men? They've had multiple relationships too. They have baggage. Men are, okay, bring it down. Men aren't getting help in between relationships either. And I mean, it's just wild to me. Like, it applies to both sides. Everybody's aging. Men are aging too.
And they just jumping from woman to woman to woman. There's no space. All the men that I've known, there's no space in between. They just go from this one to this one to this one, and lowering their standards, and whoever can take care of them, wherever it's easy, there's no work, and they're not working on themselves. What do you think, Dr.
Connection. There's no connection.
There's no connection. They just want somebody to take care of their raggedy behinds.
Well, what I heard was also in the beginning, he said a woman's value is basically determined by a man. And I would love to know what Dr. Alicia thinks of that, because you were about to go to Dr. Alicia, but like, that's the question. Like, is our value determined on what men think? Like, it just seems crazy that a man would walk around and think that.
I see you, Dr. Lene, too. I can't wait to hear what both of y'all have to say. Go ahead, Dr. Alicia.
No, I think clearly there's a lot of healing that needs to be done. I think that a lot of men who have negative views about women really need to stay single. I don't think the sexist men who think, oh, your value is based on what I see when I look at you and all of that. I think that there needs to be some healing happening. And again, I was talking about empathy. Empathy is just the ability to be able to put yourself in someone else's shoes instead of judging another person, instead of putting them down, trying to understand exactly where they're coming from. And the fact is that everybody comes into a relationship with some level of emotional baggage. It's not just ascribed to a certain set of individuals. And the thing is that when you get into a relationship with someone, that's why you date. That's why you put them in experiences to learn who and what they are, so that you can figure out, is this a person I can continue my relationship with or not? Is this baggage something that you feel like you could deal with? Because all of us have it. And I think that's why it's important to like take it slow when you're dating, no matter what. I want to say something about age gap differences though, but I think society is putting critical eye on age gap differences and giving these derogatory labels like sugar daddy, pervert, boy toy, all of these things. And I think we need to move away from that, because some people are they look at age gap relationships and they think, oh, he must be taking advantage of her or she's taking advantage of him. And I don't think that those relationships are as transactional. I mean, there's real love with age gap difference relationships. So I think we need to think twice about how we as a society view those age gap relationships, because there is real love there. And I think sometimes those relationships, they tend to hide because they're ashamed about what people assume about them that may or may not actually be accurate, because people take advantage of each other in relationships of all age gaps. And just because there's a large age gap, we need to not just assume that that's happening, by the way.
Okay.
This is data. This is according to data.
No, I get it. I still think older men who date younger women are perverts. But Dr. Lene,
you're not.
I'm just messing. Dr. Lene, are we valued? Because if in that same, first of all, why is this conversation so one-sided? Because in that same vein, then that means your value, man, is based upon what I think as a woman. So why do they put so much weight on the fact that our value is based upon what they think. Why do they think they're the remember the days that men used to court women and men used to chase women and go that aren't all like what's up with this, girl? What you thinking?
I think that somebody, I'm not going to say Kevin Samuels because I think he just brought it to light. I think these are conversations that are being had in the dark. But I think that somebody got together and said, because that there are more women to men, there's what, 8 women to 1 man, or wherever you live, there's still more women to men, that men have somehow gotten the idea that the woman is not the prize. They're the prize because there's less of them.
That is so effeminate though, but go ahead. That's like when I hear men say that they're the prize, that sounds hella gay to me. I mean, feminine to me.
Because if you can get you one, then I guess you're winning, right? And as you get older, according to men, right? As you get older, as you slow down, your body's not the same. It's not as young. You've had kids, you know what I'm saying? So your value is decreasing, and yet he has all these options. He has all these options out there, and so you are one of 7.
Yeah,
7
but
ain't
I
no
want
business.
to.
I'm the best of 7. I'm the best of 7. But go ahead.
No, I want to say I agree. Even though men have a lot of options, they are still struggling with intimacy. They're struggling. They're still lonely. They still want to be in a relationship with someone. Although there's all these choices that they have, they're not finding the right one for them. Mm-hmm. So they in and of themselves are still lonely.
What a lonely place to be. I'd rather be by myself than be lonely. I'd rather be alone than lonely, right? Mm-hmm. That's crazy. Okay, so
that's crazy that there are all these eligible Black men and there's a lot of eligible Black women, but we're not able to connect with each other. Like I know some really good top tier men and some really good top tier women, and I don't understand why we can't come together and connect. Like what is happening in our community where we can't get these two sex to come together?
The women want the men that are 6'3". All those good men that you're talking about are 5 foot tall, and so the women don't want them. Let's go to the next one.
That's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate. That's the thing, right? Because they all want the same men. So for that one certain man, yeah, they got 9 options, but for the 5 foot brother, he ain't working with that many options.
That's why we talked about the other day that we Black women need to change their type. That's another conversation that we had already. Yeah. But it's interesting that they say that we just kind of have to look beyond what we thought we wanted and look towards like character and things that are actually be good for you.
Right. I want you guys to change your type. That way it'll leave the.
I was about to say, you have all the things. There's a lot of things. Again, not lowering my standards, but there's some things I can look past. But we can't. You can't.
All y'all do it. So all the men, all the good men, you know, the my type could be available. All y'all do it. Let's go to some stats.
You got to be this tall to ride this ride.
All right, so listen. Okay, I don't see. Okay, studies show that women who marry after 30 have lower divorce rates than those who marry younger. This is what I've been telling my daughter, to make sure that her prefrontal cortex is developed before she gets married, because 25 is just starting to get there, right? What's the next one? Studies indicate that women report higher levels of self-confidence. Ain't this true, y'all? Wait, take this down real quick. Now, I want to ask these ladies.
Finish reading it.
Okay, but this is true. They read it. Okay, go back up. Let me read it, because this is so true. Studies indicate that women report higher levels of self-confidence, emotional intelligence, and life satisfaction after 30s compared to their 20s. Y'all, is this not the truth, ladies? Like, you remember when you were so insecure in your 20s and you didn't, you weren't sure of yourself. Like, how can you be somebody's wife?
Yeah.
I remember, girl, come on. But when I got in my 30s, I started knowing myself a little bit better. 40s, I know what I want. I know who I am. I'm confident, like all the things. So yeah, man. Whew, okay, that hit me, because you men are saying that we're losing our value, or actually our value is growing as we get older. That's what I feel. So you could talk that shit if you want to, but I love me at damn near 50. I love
Joe Corley said, "Where are these women at? Stop the cap."
Yeah, they're trash women. I mean, they're not good like us. Just a lot of them, but it's not quality women. I mean, it's what it is.
So Kevin said, "I'm 6'3" with a decent income, and what I've seen in terms of dating are slim pickings." I'm a Kevin Samuels. Kevin, real quick. So you're 6'3". How much do you weigh? What kind of job do you have?
Let's not do that.
How many kids do you have? How many mamas
Wait.
do you have?
Kevin Samuels also asked him how
That's
large
what
his
I'm
penis.
talking about.
Wait,
right
Kevin Samuels,
there.
remember that dude? He asked him how big his penis was, and he was like, "Well, he was
I
like, so
don't
you
know.
must." He said, "You a fat f. You don't make no money. You this. You got a small." He was like, "You are not."
We don't know if these things are true about you, Kevin. I'm literally okay. 200 pounds, no kids. 6'3", 200 pounds, no kids. Okay, where do you live?
Hey, Kevin, go ahead and email me your picture, brother. Info@therealnetwork.
Kevin, you
don't
got all
have
your
that,
teeth
Sierra.
and your faculties. You got a Bobby
Uh-huh.
Brown mouth like this. You should be a crackhead.
You know, but I will go back to type. You know, I was having a conversation actually with Robin a couple weeks ago, and she was like, "I'm gonna tell you what you need, Tiara." I was like, "What do I need, Robin?" She was like, "You need somebody that's a little older, right? Like you need somebody that's
Right.
financially stable.
Okay.
You need this, you need that, right?" And I was like, "He can't be too old. He can't be over 45 because, or 40. I said 48 because." I don't know. I dated somebody at 48 when I was like 38. And every time we would go running, he would come in and be like, "Ooh, I need a nap." You know, like little stuff. Like he just was like an old man. He started to gray. So he kind of looked like he was 60 already. Like it was, I don't know.
I
Y'all.
know. These dudes
So-
are. I was talking to a guy the other night. He said, and he was talking, and he was grayed up, and he looked like he was at least 60. And he was like, "Yeah, and I'm 45." I was looking I was like, "Oh." Let's go to another question. Y'all ready? Oh, wait, do we got a break?
We gotta take a
Yeah.
break.
All right, we'll be back.
Are you a Black business owner looking to expand your reach? Well, has Fly Nubian Money got good news for you? We are building a Black business directory to connect you with customers who need your services. And here is the best part. It is absolutely free. Email us at info@realvirtual.net. Send us your business name. Tell us a little bit about what you do, what services you offer, your website address, and your contact information. That's it. Together, we are going to build and circulate the Black dollar. Get listed today and start connecting with people who are probably already looking for you.
We'll make you want to go into a dark room somewhere and all that sexy voice. I love it. So there's two comments. This Sharita said, I actually changed my height requirement and met the love of my life. So I want to ask you guys, if you guys have requirements, like what are your requirements? And then somebody said, that's why you ain't got no man, which like, yeah, do people say that to women? That's why you ain't like, the goal is not to have a man. I promise to Jesus Christ on the cross, if I wanted a man, I could have one right now. Y'all don't understand how easy it is to get a man. Like that is not something that's hard to do, y'all.
That's true.
That's the crazy. But people don't say that to men. People don't be like, that's why you ain't got no woman. You guys are not the goal. I just want to let you guys know that y'all are not the goal for everybody. We're not desperate. We're not hard up around here. But for you, Tiara, and for you, Dr. Lene, she said she changed her height requirements. Do you guys have like requirements, like must-haves? And I know we talked about it before, but is there like a must that y'all got?
Yeah. He can't be a liar. He got to be loyal. Like there's like character things that I'm looking for. But I
Okay,
also
let's say physical. I want to say the physical, the shallow physical. That's what I want.
That's all you
Black.
want. I mean, he has to be handsome to me. But I actually have dated men that people think like, he ain't all that cute. I'd be like, I think he's cute. He like, because I like dark skin and I like black features. So I'm cool with it,
Okay, so that's your thing. Is you just want somebody that's
I want a
chocolate.
good man. Yeah,
No,
I
but
don't want
I'm just talking about the physical characteristics. I know we
Okay.
want somebody who's honest, who's caring, who's
Okay.
physical.
I mean, yeah, he gotta be fine to me. Like he gotta be fine to me, whatever that means.
Okay. Dr. Lene, what about
Right.
you? What's that thing?
I am 5'9" barefoot. In
Yeah, me
heels,
too.
I am
Me
6'1".
too.
So you have to be at least a minimum of 6'2". And I've lowered that from 6'4". So in my 20s and 30s, it was 6'4". You got to be 6'4" or taller. I have lowered that to 6'2", but my dude is 6'6".
Woo, I love it.
I
Yes,
was about to say,
hunting.
I dated somebody that was 5'8", and I wrote a whole album about him. So I'm. It don't even matter. Like
He put that thing down.
You feel me? Like I wrote a whole album about him. He had me at home writing poetry, baby. So it doesn't matter. That 5'8" felt mighty to me.
You like
I mean, height is kind of superficial, but so what would happen, Dr. Lene, if you met the most amazingly kind, warm man? You were connected, he was fine, there was chemistry, but he was 6 feet tall. So y'all were looking eye to eye in heels.
I wouldn't even know.
She's like,
I'm
here. That.
She said he wouldn't even look his way.
My best friend asks me all the time, and I know she's like, what if the love of your life is white? We'll never meet. I'll never find him.
Know. Yeah.
What if he's 6 feet? I'll never find him. He'll never find me. I'll have to go with second best.
Fortunately, you don't have to deal with that. That's
Drop the mother effing mic.
Thank you, Lord, that's not the case.
Drop the mother effing mic, Dr. Lene. She said, "I'll never know."
Don't ask me these questions. I'm not having it.
Oh my God.
There's a lot of things that I can compromise on. You know what I'm saying? I
Height is
compromise
not one
on finances. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be where I'm at. We can make it work. I'll compromise on it. I can work with. There's a lot of stuff I can work. You don't have to be college educated if you're intelligent and hold a conversation. You don't have to have. You know, there's a lot of stuff I can compromise on, but that's one of the ones. And I'll say this: I have a mouth thing. I have a teeth thing, and he does have a tooth thing. But I've been able to get past it. We were talking about it the other day. He was like, I accept you. And I was like, I accept you too. He was like, what are you talking about? I was like, there's some things about you that I have to work with. He was like what? And I was like, I'm not even going to say it because it doesn't matter. I didn't even go into it. But I know that historically, that has been one of my things. But with him.
Good for you for not making him feel bad, for not telling him what it was, because you're going to give him a complex if you do.
Yeah. You mean nice tea?
Super, 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 super confident. He hasn't come back to me. He hasn't asked me about it. He's like he's an alpha. He is not worried about it at all.
I love that. I love it.
So nice teeth is a thing. Yeah. Teeth is a thing. I like nice teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if they look thrown in your mouth, there's levels to it. There's levels to.
You say thrown.
Yes, like
some thrown in your mouth.
Yes. But your little things, like I like to look at nice teeth. But but if he don't have nice teeth, it's cool.
Kelly said that's crazy. He could be a wealthy and 6 feet, and she said, "Yeah, and I'll never know."
I won't even know he's wealthy. I won't even know it. You don't know you missed something that you don't know that you missed.
I do think finances are important, and it came up earlier about whether or not women are making more money than men. And I personally have had that situation. I mean, when I met my husband, I made $0 as a PA in Hollywood, and he had a good government job. And as our love and life progressed, my education started to pay off in a different way. And I was making triple his money at one point. But like Dr. Lene, my man is 100% like confident. It's not about how much money, it's how we working with all that money together.
Yeah, it's ours.
Yeah,
I love that. Let's go to one more video, and let's finish this game up because this is fun.
One thing for certain, two things for sure. Majority of y'all black men, y'all love devaluing black women until y'all need them, whether that's for their body or you need them financially, whatever the situation is. Y'all motherfucker don't have that same energy when you need the black woman. But just as soon as you feel like you're in a position to where you don't need that woman no more, now she this and now she this. Y'all nigga need to get some nuts and go back to the drawing board and regroup. Cause y'all got the game fucked up. Ain't nothing better. When I say nothing, I mean ain't nothing better than a black woman that knows who she is, confident, walking in her motherfucking purpose, adjust her own motherfucking crown, and can goddamn stand with the best of them. Yeah. So put some respect on these women name, man, and stop devaluing women, man, because you came from the very black woman that you disrespect on a day-to-day basis. Put that in your motherfucking coffee mug and drink it. For sure, free game.
Free game, y'all. That's some free game. Now, let me ask you this, Dr. Alicia. I guess we only really listen to Black people, right? Are other races devaluing their women in the same way that we see on social media?
I don't think so. I mean, I can't say that I've scraped all of social media and done an analysis on it, but I do find it to be a theme in Black relationships where Black men are looking at their partners through the lens of these stereotypes. So they're internalizing negative stereotypes of Black women, and they're looking at issues and their significant other through these lens, not actually looking at the actual partner, but through the lens of stereotypes. I'm also finding that Black women are also looking at their partners through these lens of stereotypes. And it is really a very unique situation that I'm finding just in Black families that you don't find in, I've talked about this, Italian families. You don't find this. Like, I've been to an Italian family's household. Those women are running things, but there's no derogatory label placed on them. They're cooking dinner, they're making sure everything is cleaned up, they're doing all of these things that Black women do, even Greek households, other ethnic households where there's a strong presence of the female in the household. It's not looked at as derogatory, even Hispanic households, but you see that uniquely in Black families where I feel like we need to just let go of these stereotypes or be cognizant of how we are taking out our issues of internalization of what slavery has given us in terms of stereotypes, and we're putting it on each other, and that's not fair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Does that make Black men weak, or does that make those ethnicities weak because they maybe they don't feel secure enough in their manhood to be able to take a strong woman, as these Italian households or the Greek households?
Well, what's happening is that, you have racism and white supremacy in the backdrop of all of this.
Right.
So when men go out and they want to become successful and do all the things that they feel like they need to do as a man outside of the home, they're not being affirmed as much as these other ethnic groups are affirmed.
That's good.
So they're coming home and they're taking out their issues. It's rightful. It's just a normal thing that people do. They take out their issues on their significant other. And so it becomes a dynamic. It's just a dynamic where women do the same thing too. So, I mean, there's a lot to be said and a lot of things to deconstruct there, but it's part of it is just to be aware that it's happening.
Right.
And to stop it. Once you're aware of, when you know better, you do better.
Right,
and so we need to be cognizant of that.
Right. Makes sense.
That whole white supremacy thing is real. I mean, we don't give enough credit to, what's going on in the world today, but also the relationships between Black men and Black women and Black families. A lot of what we do today is still trickle down from that bullshit in slavery.
Yeah.
And they told us we were not good. And they told us when we got to a certain age, we could only do X, Y, and Z. And a lot of that stuff is just carried on. And, Dr. Alicia, what you said about Black men going out into the world is so true. Like, I love Black men, but they get it hard. We do too. Yeah. It's rough for Black women. We know this, but Black men do not get that affirmation. And so, it weighs on them. Black men are less likely to go get therapy for this stuff. And, it does end up coming out in a negative way sometimes.
Wow. No, that is interesting when you think about the grand scheme of things and you think about the state of, like, you hear a lot of stuff on podcasts and you're thinking, is this grandiosized to where, this is not really, it's magnified, right? Is it really magnified, or is this how it really is? But when you look at the state of our community with, like you said, Dr. Alicia, racism and white supremacy being in the backdrop, and the things that we have to face as Black people, and here we are online with these battle of the sexes types conversations that nobody else has but us. But a lot of the things that we do actually stems of how we're treated in this world. If you look at other cultures, like even in African cultures, we're not seeing these same conversations had about the men and the women. What were you going to say, Tiara?
I was just about to say, and it's the stories that we've embraced. Not only have we been conditioned, but we've taken those stories on as our own. We also, say those same and repeat those same stereotypes every single day about Black men and Black women on this very Beyonce internet that we are all on. Also, I mean, if we even think about it, like even through the music, I mean, they've infiltrated a lot of what we believe about ourselves in the music. So we have the last 20 years, the last 20, 25 years of like, that bitch, that hoe, I hate a bitch, I hate a black women of a bitch, 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 bitch. And now black women have taken it and been like, you ain't gonna call me no bitch, I'm gonna call myself a bitch, you know, and we've kind of taken it, and we, you know, we hold on to those stories. And, you know, story is my love language. And I think, you know, if you can get somebody to believe something, you could tell them a story about themselves and they buy it, well, that's it. That's it's truth.
Man, you hit that on the head. You got something you want to contribute, Dr. Lene, before we go to the next question?
Just, I hate the state of Black love, the state of Black relationships, the dynamics between Black men and Black women. I know we're talking about it from the Kevin Samuels perspective and height and all this kind of stuff, and it's funny, but the reality is that there's too many good single Black men and too many good single Black women, and not understanding or having a real solution on how to rectify that is a real issue. There's going to be a lot of single lonely women and a lot of single lonely men, and it doesn't have to be that way. So what does that look like? What is the solution? How do we fix that? How do we find common ground where, you know, this man and this woman can come together and build? Because we know that wealth and legacy and all of those things come when there's two people. And I'm not saying two parents, I'm saying two people working towards the same common goal, supporting each other, affirming each other, understanding what's happening in the world, catering to each other, nurturing each other. Like what would that look like for our community if we were able to showcase that? And that's what
that's what we need more of right there. Mm-hmm. All right, so let's go to the next question. All right, ladies, fact or myth? By 50, a woman's biggest concern should be retirement, not relationships.
Do people not know what the retirement age is?
By 50? You said by 50, right? Look at Dr. Alicia. She thinking.
I mean, I think we should. Yeah, I think
I had to think about that one for a second before I went with myth.
Hold that up a little higher, Dr.
Okay. Dr. Lene, why?
So the question said, after 50, you should be thinking about retirement, not relationship.
By 50. Come on, y'all.
No, I think, okay, so I think you could be thinking about both, but everybody's not going to be retiring at 50. Let's tell the truth, shame the devil. Everybody's not retiring at 50. Some people will work well into their 70s, not me, but some folks. And at 48, pushing 50, I am still thinking about relationship, because the relationship is a part of my retirement. Who am I going to retire with? Who am I traveling with? What kind of life am I going to be living? How big is the house I'm going to be? What's our blended family look like? So that is a part of the retirement. It's not one or the other.
Yeah. Why does it have to be mutually exclusive? Okay. We got 7 more questions. We're going to get through them. So I'm not going to be able to ask. I'm not going to be able to ask.
Does anybody have any thoughts on that? Rapid response?
Rapid response.
Why did Dr. Alicia say fact?
Yes. Dr. Alicia, why'd you say fact?
Yeah, we always need to think about retirement. Stop spending money. Stop spending money on things you don't need, and invest in your retirement always.
Well, why my dude ain't my retirement?
Where your what?
Why my dude ain't my retirement?
No, dude ain't your. Don't do that. Your eggs in that basket? I think not.
You end up with no dude and no retirement.
Wait. What did you say? That's the name.
I said, if you end up with no dude and no retirement. Dudeless and penniless.
Damn.
Hey, depend on you ninjas. All right, what's the next one? Your 40s and 50s are the best years of your life, financially, emotionally, and spiritually. Listen, come on. Yeah, y'all don't even know. You guys that are not in your 40s yet, because again, your 20s, you insecure as shit. You don't know, like 30s, you start feeling your 40s, you know, you seasoned. You got a little bit of that Laura's on you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's good over here. I love it. What about you, Robin? What you think?
100%. I mean, I did most of my growth, and I'm still growing, still learning about things in my 20s and how they relate to today. But I did most of my growth starting at about 42, 43. So I'm a much more reasonable, level person than I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
talking like you, Constance, in my 20s.
Your dude was supposed to be in retirement in your 20s. Is that?
I'm at the tip of it, y'all. I'm at the beginning of this newfound. So like this
How do
year,
you
I
feel
was
about
like,
it?
wait a minute. Now this is kind of glorious. Like at 40, I was still like, but here at 42, I'm like,
Let
okay,
me
wait
tell
a
you
minute.
something. Welcome
Wait a
to the
minute.
40
I feel
Club.
good.
It's great over here on this side. And I
Yes,
heard
S. Jones, 60s too. That's right.
60s
I
too.
was about to say and beyond, really, because the way I see Black women age and the way I see them do their things, it seems like from 40 all the way until death, right? It's like there's something amazing that happens.
Yeah. And then that when you in your 60s, I heard you just don't give a damn about nothing. Like I don't give a damn. That's when you have
But
that
still
pandemic.
bomb.
Yeah, but still bomb.
Bomb.
All right. Okay, let's go to the next one.
All right.
Successful Black women have a harder time finding love because they intimidate men. Yeah.
Ooh.
Wait, say that one more time.
Successful Black women have a harder time finding love because they intimidate men.
I
Okay.
don't like the way that's worded. I don't like the way that's worded.
And I'll
But-
say fact. Oh, right. So I'm with you, Dr. Lene, but I'll go more with fact. But go ahead, Dr. Lene. Why'd you do both?
It's a fact and a myth. It does intimidate some men, not all men, right? So in some way it is a fact, depending on the type of man you're dealing with, and in others it's a myth. I thought everybody told me when I got this PhD, like, you are already hard to date. You got a bachelor's, you got an MBA, you're self-employed, like you're already hard to date. Now you want to go and get a PhD. Now you want a man to call you doctor? No, I don't want a man to call me doctor. I want the world to call me doctor. But I will tell you, this PhD brought the brothers out in droves. It did not scare them away. Man, my stock went up.
So was it the Quality Brothers that
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Quality brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Quality brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And so it can be intimidating to the wrong type of dude, but it's not intimidating to the right kind. So that's why I said it's a fact and it's a myth. We can't hear you, Robin.
Oh, she's talking to somebody else because I heard a Zoom.
Okay, sorry.
Okay,
be careful what you ask for because you just might get it. If I had to talk to my husband, he loves the fact, I say myth. He loves the fact that I'm educated and smart and outspoken. Until I disagree with him, then he don't like the fact that I'm educated, outspoken. And so it's a dynamic there. It's like men love women who are opinionated and all of these things. And then we get into our conversation sometimes and it'd be hilarious, y'all.
That's so cool. So let me ask you really quick. Hold on.
Can we ask Robin if she has a heart out?
That's what I was going to ask her.
You
okay.
do.
I do have a heart out. It was so much fun talking to you, Queen. I hope I get to come back at some point.
We can't wait to see you again, Robin. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye.
Welcome. Yeah, it's so funny. It's a dynamic. And I'd be like, what about me being smart and outspoken? He's like, you're right. I do like that. But so we have fun about, and I think that these relationships, I think people just take things so seriously. I mean, if I were to talk to everybody in a relationship, whether it's older or younger, have fun in your relationships. It's never going to be perfect. All the issues that's going on, don't try to pretend like you don't have no issues. Just have, like, I don't think it's important. I think using humor in relationships is so important. That's why all of these funny memes that go on in social media are hilarious about the dynamics of men and women and Black men and women. I think we need to look at that and just relax a little bit and just take in the fact that people are just different and you have to celebrate differences. Nothing will ever be perfect, but I really do think that all of us just need to take it down a little bit.
I'm trying to tell you know what, and you know what?
Wow.
If I have a rule, whatever I do, if it's this podcast or if I'm hanging out with a friend or if I'm hanging out with a man, if I'm not laughing, I don't want to do it. If I'm not enjoying it, I don't want to do it. So I 100% agree with you, Dr. Leisha. Like, it has to be fun. I need to be laughing. I need to be enjoying you. Like, that is my medicine. And so I can't take life too serious. You serious when you're doing your work, and the work got to be fun too. But you serious when you got to make that bread. But everything else, I just want to enjoy and have a good time.
Yeah, and learn how to accept each other. Learn how to accept the differences. You're not going to agree on everything, but the relationship has to function in a way that's healthy, and there's empathy there, and all of those things have to happen. But you don't want a carbon copy of yourself. That's no fun.
That's the magic word, is empathy. All right. So next question. Men are more likely to remarry after divorce than women. Okay, Dr. Lene.
That's a fact. That's like
For sure.
a fact.
Dr. Lene, why you say no?
Men over 40. I'm only talking about men over 40, 45 who have previously been married for 10, 15, 20 years are usually done. They don't really look at wanting to be married again after being married for 20 years. They are looking at for a long-term relationship. They do want to date you, but they're not necessarily looking to remarry at 50. They're 50, they have their portfolio, they have their investments, their kids are grown. They don't necessarily want to go back down that
Them
path.
men just want somebody to take care of their rusty behinds. They
I was gonna say,
do.
that's all I meet is men that be like, I want to get married again.
Yeah, I had dudes be like, "Listen, I'm dating with a purpose," and I'm like, "Whoa,
I've talked to multiple men who have previously been married, and that is the quorum. But and again, these are men who are not necessarily of a certain age, but of a certain wealth background, shall we say. And so they're not looking to play with their monies at this age with another.
I feel you.
They've already given half of it away. They're not looking to do it again.
But there's data. And I think data is that men who get divorced or widowed are way more likely to get remarried than women do. They need somebody to make their sandwiches for them.
So that ain't the average. That ain't the average black man, because the average black man ain't got that kind of.
I mean, look it up. Y'all can look it up. Chat GPT will tell you.
We don't talk about Dr. Lene. The average black man ain't
men getting remarried really.
Dr. Lene ain't dating the average black man. Clearly, she dating for portfolios.
Baby, you want turkey or ham? What you want? I want to make your sandwich.
Listen,
they need somebody to make the sandwich.
Right.
Business owners. I'm mostly around business owners. So I'm not around. I'm mostly with entrepreneurs and business owners. So entrepreneurs, business owners, people who have legacy. No.
I hear men often say that they want to get it right the second time, or like if they got it wrong, or they messed up, or they did some things that they shouldn't. If they was like, this time I just want to nail it. That's what I hear from black men that I date.
All right. Let's go to next. A woman's financial independence makes marriage optional, not necessary.
Ooh.
Oops. Wait. Go back to the question again. Because I had this up. But a woman's financial independence makes makes marriage optional, not necessary. Yeah. Okay. I'll say fact. What y'all think? Yeah. So for me, just like that man that Dr. Lene is talking about, I'm that dude that, I done gave half of my money away, and I'm not really in a rush to give it away again. And so I like peace and I enjoy being single. So yeah, I'm not even looking at marriage. That's so far from, for me. It's possible, but it's not something that I'm like looking forward to.
Okay. Bring up the question one more time, Gwen. It says a woman's financial independence make marriage optional, not necessary. Okay, you could take it down.
Optional.
I think that it's not optional.
Is it necessary? You're saying it's necessary.
It's not necessary. It's not necessary, right? But like, who doesn't want to be married? Who doesn't want to be in relationship?
Yeah,
right?
I want love. I don't necessarily want to be married.
Okay, but when I think about marriage or wanting to be with someone, when I think about love, I think about marriage. I think about you wanting to be with a man, and your money, I don't think should be related to that. I don't feel like the two should be related. Like
some women want men for security, right? And so I don't need a man for security. I want a man because I want him, but I don't need him. And I think those women who probably want to be married probably need some type of security.
But I mean, is it like you could just still need a man? I guess that's
I do need a man. I do
like
need, but I don't need to marry him.
Okay, all right. Using marriage, these are technical things.
No, you said marriage. You just said
have money. Just because you have money doesn't mean make it optional for you not to have love or not.
That's a whole different conversation.
Right.
We ain't talking about
that's
love.
the way it hit me. That's the way it hits me.
What about you,
What
Dr.
do you say,
Alicia?
Dr. Alicia?
You know what? Now that I listen to you, Tierra, Miss Black Hollywood, now that I look at, I may change my answer because, yeah, that makes sense. So I agree with you. Now that
Bring
I
it
heard
up
your
again one more time, Gwen, because these are technicalities. I know.
yeah,
Bring it up. A woman's financial independence makes marriage optional, not necessary. It's almost saying like just because you got money, that means that you could take it or leave it. And I just don't think we can take love or leave it.
Yeah. So I think even if you have you're not even looking for a man to give you money, you're looking for the companionship. And that is what's the point of having this money if I gotta go do solo travel?
So marriage is like the ultimate. That's what
I'm listening to what Miss Black Hollywood is saying. If you listen to her, she was saying
she's saying love, but the question wasn't love; it was marriage. So you got to be. Let's be very clear.
I associate the two, right?
Oh,
like
I love love.
Saying like, okay, but I understand the technicality in the statement.
She's talking about the commitment level there.
But that's not what the question said. So
yes, Constance, you have good reading comprehension skills. But now that I heard what Miss Black Hollywood said, I'm like, oh yeah, I agree with that.
Dr. Lene, you have both of them up.
Because the question asked, if you have money, is marriage necessary? That's what the question said. If you have financial independence, is marriage necessary? I put both up because the myth is that's right. That's the myth. If you have money, then you don't need marriage. That's the myth. The fact is you still do. So it's a myth and a fact, right? Because it's unfortunate and sad that a lot of Black women believe that is true. Because you have money and you are financially independent, you don't have to be married because they're focused on financial independence. But there is also, you have a family, you have kids. Your kids need a father. Your kids, you need, if you have financial independence, that means you're probably working hard. You need somebody to rub your back and to support you, to talk to you, to fix the lights. You need somebody to talk nicely to you because you just had a bad day. You didn't get the contract.
Need marriage for that. Y'all can't have a man. Y'all can't have a Stedman like Oprah got Stedman.
In theory, you can. In theory, you can. But there's something different that happens between relationship and marriage.
Oh, there you go. There
you
go.
Lord. I think her and Stedman are married.
Nah, they not. And they could be married. So here's where I'm at, girl. So here's where I'm at. I'll take a spiritual marriage over a legal marriage because I never want to be in a position again, because I was married and I had to go through the whole court system. I never want to be in a position again where a white man could tell me what I got to do with my money. That's just not what I'm interested in doing ever again, because it hit me so hard the last time. Like, they acted like I was Dr. Dre, and so I never want to be in a position where they can tell me what I have to do after you wasn't on the court shooting with me. So after I didn't hit all this stuff, now you got, somebody. So I'll do a spiritual marriage. Yeah, no, maybe so. Are we paused? Is Miss Black?
I'm like, what is she's frozen? What is a spiritual marriage?
We lost another one. Okay.
It's just, you're married in spirit. You don't have to get the white man involved in your marriage.
Yeah, if you're in California and you together more than 7 years, is it 7 years or 10 years? You technically married or
yeah, but you could set things up. You could have a prenup or whatever, I guess. But I just don't like the system dictating what I need to do. I want to do it myself. It's different at damn near 50. I don't need the system telling me, but who knows? It may change. Let's go to the next one. All right. Men over 40 still expect women to submit in relationships. Okay. This is a conversation we was kind of having before. And I'm interested to see what Dr. Lene got to say.
The question is stating that men over 40 still expect women to submit. I'm over 40, over 50, over 60, over 70, over 80.
Should women submit is the question.
No, the question didn't say should they.
No, I'm asking you. That's my question to you, Dr. Lene. Should women submit?
Yes, women should submit. Okay. Now, I finally heard it a way. Let me preface it with, You can't be out here submitting to all the ninjas. You should submit to yours. Let me say that. And I was watching something the other day. Stefan Speaks, and he was talking about submission, and he was talking about the reason why women have such a hard time with it. And so how he broke it down to me, I was like, okay, I can support that. And he was talking about there's 3 levels to submission. There's submitting to each other, right? When you decide to be with this person, you guys are making this submission to each other. He's submitting to her, she's submitting to him. That's the communal level of relationship. Then there's she's submitting to him as her husband, and he is submitting to God. In that frame, I can submit because now this is the person that God has brought into my life as the head of our household, as the leader, and he is hearing from, speaking to, praying with, covering us by way of God. I do not have a problem submitting to that man and his leadership.
Amen.
I'm not submitting to Joe down the street, but for my dude, my husband, my man, my king of my castle, he can have submission.
What does that look like? Tell me what does submission look like in actual, because I've been a therapist, a licensed therapist for over 20 years. I have yet to go to a training, a CEU, continuing education units that I'm required to do every other year. I've yet to come across a presentation of evidence-based practice talking about submission. I want to know, what does that look like?
Evidence-based practice. I think it's biblical. Yes, it's not evidence-based practice. It's biblical, so you're not going to see it in evidence-based practice, but biblically speaking, and or from that perspective, it is saying that your husband, not your boyfriend, not some dude you're kicking it with, your husband, that you will submit to him. So basically, he is the leader, the head of your household. So you can go to him, you can speak, you can, talk about, give your considerations, let him know what you feel, how you think, but ultimately he has the last say.
Yeah.
And that you have to be okay with that. You can
So
still speak,
you still go
you can still say this is what it is, you give your opinion, but he
that
has
sounds like a parent-child.
choice.
That sounds like a parent-child relationship. If I were to take
that
scenario,
and
I were to let me finish. If I were to take that scenario, that sounds like a parent-child relationship. So the submission example that you just gave is what I do with my children. So I could say, hey, we're going to go on vacation somewhere, and my kids can give me input, but at the end of the day, it's going to be my husband and I that's going to put our heads together, and we're going to make that decision together. And then I will notify the children what they need to do. Here's the plan of action. I have taken your voice into consideration. That's healthy. But in terms of,
if you want to be equal to your husband,
that's a parent,
it is healthy, but now you're saying that
that's a parent-child scenario, and that's not necessarily, I don't know what the submission. So if that's the case, then to me that doesn't sound like that's pretty healthy. So
it's perfectly healthy for me. I don't want to be equal with my husband. I don't need, for the whole purpose of having not the whole sole purpose, but when you have protection and you have provision and you have covering and you have a man that can lead you, you don't have to go back and forth. You don't have to be on his level. He is the man. He is the overarching protector, provider, security, the king of the castle. The king is the one who has the final say. The queen provides input, consideration, all of those things.
Okay, so in healthy relationships, decisions are made through compromise and flexibility. So there has to be a sense of back and forth with a sense of compromise. Okay, here's what you want to do. You want to go somewhere hot. I'd like to go somewhere cold. How can we get together and compromise? Maybe this time we'll go somewhere hot, or the next time we'll go somewhere cold. And then we come up with an agreement between two adults and have an agreement that is compromising and flexible to the people in that dyad. Okay, in that relationship. That is what communication says. But what you just laid out is almost like a parent-child power dynamic relationship that is problematic in a lot of situations. And I don't know, how do you submit to each other then well, maybe you don't subscribe to the submit to each other thing. So maybe
No, I think you have to submit to each other. In order for you to let this person lead you, you both have to trust this person to lead you. But submission does not mean that you don't have compromise. You have to compromise. There's going to be times when your husband says, you know what, that's right, let's do what you say. There's going to be times when he says, you know what, I took that into consideration, but I think that this is still the best way forward. So
he independently makes a decision and everybody just has to follow what he says.
So I think you're speaking from but Dr. Alicia, I think you're speaking from an authoritarian space, and I don't think that's what allowing a man, that's what submitting to a man is about. It's not about him being above you. It is about you trusting him to make that decision. I believe that that's important. And if I'm going to marry someone, then I'm going to marry the person that I believe can actually lead, direct, and guide me. Like, I'm not going to marry anybody that I believe is going to lead me down to hell.
What does that look like? Like, does it look like compromise, or does it look like it's a submission thing?
I think that's
all to say so, and you don't. Where's your voice?
That's where
and you're coming at it from a licensed psychological. This is not a science-based practice. So
right.
If you come at it from that perspective, and you're thinking about what you read in the book, then yeah, I understand what you're saying. But this is not what you read in a book.
Well,
I'm
talking about practice. So evidence-based practice is also practice.
But also there are also situations in households where people are ruled by their religion or their spiritual practice that actually works as well. That's not evidence-based practice that you would see. But I do believe when you talk about submission, there's also a sense of wisdom that man has. So if this is a true leader, he's going to consider what you say. And he's going to lead accordingly. I don't think again, you're looking at it as he's the authority. I may be able to say something, but he has the ultimate say and he's not considering. I believe that this person that I'm going to submit to has the wisdom to be able to lead me. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with
what does that have to do? How is that different from, if it's not different from compromise and flexibility, then how is submission not different from that? Because that is where flexibility, being able to have empathy, all of those things are important for a healthy relationship. So I'd like to know exactly how that's different from, oh, I have to just listen to whatever you have to say.
But it's not that
it sounds like you're saying.
It's not that simple that I just have to listen to what you have to say. I do believe it's wisdom. It's this person that you trust enough to say, you know what, I'm going to lead this household, and I'm going to be able to see. I think the problem is in this modern society, like women, because here's the thing too. Anything with two heads is deformed, right? Like if you have two heads on something, it's you can't have two heads. There got to be one head. There got to be one leader. Somebody has to submit to the leader. And I'm okay as a woman as long as he allows me to operate in my femininity and he's taking care of business. And just like you said, Dr. Lene, provision. Right, and you're providing.
That sounds like a parent child. That sounds like
go be the man. Somebody has to be the woman.
That doesn't sound like that's
the man.
No, it's allowing me to operate in my femininity. I don't have to be the man. I don't gotta go out there and make decisions. I don't gotta slay the dragons and they come. I don't want to make the decisions. I want to be able to trust somebody to do that.
What I'm saying, what I'm trying to see the demarcation between respect, listening, empathy, being flexible and compromising. How is that different from what you're saying? Like, is it that I have to just listen to what this person has to say and fall in line? Or is it that there is this sense of two adults coming together and compromising, being flexible with each other, respecting each other? How is that different from what you're laying out as submission?
Because the compromise might be that you have to go
scenario, but I'm trying to hear like the nuances in that, because in the submission thing, I'm seeing in practice where it's like, oh, she's got to submit to me. That means she got to do what I say. So I think that it's getting a little confusing with some of these men. Yeah, I submit to God. I don't know what that means. Plus, there's another alternative to that passage in the Bible, but we could talk about it later, I guess. Okay. That's one way of looking at it. There's other ways of interpreting that particular part in the Bible.
And I think that this is why so many women are single, is because they don't get this part understood well.
Well, I'm not single, and I don't know what that means.
You have to listen to me. There's going to be a lot of unhappy homes.
And on that note, I'm getting beat up in the back, so we got to give our final thoughts. We got to give our final thoughts. So I'll start with you, Dr. Alicia. What is your final thoughts, and where can they find you?
Listen, and everybody's thoughts, everybody's feelings are equally important as an adult in a relationship. And if you are struggling with trying to make sure that you are being heard, if you're struggling with making sure that it's a beautiful, equal relationship where two adults come together, you can contact me, Coaching with Dr. Alicia. I will help to tease all of that out so you can come to a place where everybody's important, everybody's voice is important, and you can come up with agreements in your relationship where there's compromise, there's flexibility, there is love, and there's definitely respect in the relationship. Coaching with Dr. Alicia. You can follow me on Instagram at Coaching with Dr. Alicia.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Alicia. Dr. Lene.
What up? What up? Today's conversation was so good. I'm so glad that we got the opportunity to have it. The dynamics and the emergency situation that is happening between Black men and Black women, like it is critical. It is critical that we come together. It is critical that we have these types of conversations so that we have understanding. We understand what women want and what they need. We understand what men want and what they need. Neither party's emotions should be devalued. Neither party's desires should not be communicated. Like, you should care about what the man wants. You should care about what the woman wants, and you should be able to communicate. You should respect each person. Our conversation was about decreasing in value. Do women decrease as they age? They don't, because they get smarter, they get wiser, they get better, they become better partners, they become better counterparts, right? Women are helpmates to men. Men, I think we've heard it said that the man is the head and the woman is the neck. Like, the head does not move without the neck. If you know how to operate in your household and be complimenting to your husband, and again, I'm talking about husbands. I'm not talking about your boyfriend and your man friend. I'm talking about your husband, then submitting to his leadership, letting him provide and offer security. It does not demean you as a woman. It does not mean he does not respect you. It does not mean that he does not have to compromise, but it does mean that we have proper, I'm not going to say proper structure, but we get to operate in our femininity. We get to let the man be the man. We get to be what they call it, the soft life. That's what they call it now, the soft life. You get to be a passenger princess. That's not for everybody. Everybody doesn't want that. I do want that. I do want to be a passenger princess. I do want to be pampered. I do want to be taken care of. I do want to have a man, my man, that I can trust, that can take the lead, that can take that position. I don't think that we have a lot of that in our community right now. And it's unfortunate, because as women, we're having to do and operate in our masculine energy way more than what we should. We should be able to be feminine and be soft and let the masculine energy take hold. And I pray for a day when we can do that, when there's two parents in the household or two people in the household to lead, and that there's the trust and the communication and the respect so that we can operate like that. I'm not going to say like other communities. I'm just going to say like that. And so I'm Dr. Lene Javette. I am a brand your brilliant strategist. I help Black entrepreneurs to create strategies that help them to brand their brilliance. I'm supposed to read. There it is. Happy birthday, Laura Lala Key and Constance Carter. What? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
So last time Gwen forgot all about me, so now she's making it up. Thank you, Gwen.
That's not the appropriate one.
I had a birthday over the weekend. So this was great. First of all, I loved all the audience engagement, all the chat engagement. And I love having just the most multifaceted opinions of everybody, because we all have different opinions of what we think and what our lifestyles are and how we choose to live. And guess what? What you do don't affect nobody else but your household. What you eat don't make nobody else shit. So that's the beautiful thing, is you can live your life and lead your life however you want to and however you interpret it. The great thing is that what today's conversation proves is that Black women over 30 are not 50% off. If anything, we are leveling up. The world tries to tell us that our value is tied to youth, but what we know is we gain confidence, we gain financial power, and we gain wisdom as we continue to grow. So the real question is, y'all, who really benefits from making women feel like they lose value after 30? Who? The truth is that women over 30 are in their prime, y'all. Over 40, we getting even gooder and gooder and gooder. And the more that we own that, the harder it becomes for society to dictate our worth. If you're a woman over 30, walk in your power, sis. If you're younger, know that your value isn't on a timeline. And if you're a man, understand that real value isn't about age, but it's about depth, it's about growth, it's about connection. So, y'all, let's keep this conversation going. Let's keep it going in the comments. Do you think society still devalues Black women over 30? Have you experienced this yourself? So I just want to give a huge thank you to the panel. Dr. Alicia, Dr. Lene, Miss Robin, Miss Black Hollywood. What a powerful conversation. I want to keep it going. Dr. Lene, you keep coming with the controversial stuff, because this was great. This was really fun today. I enjoyed it. Remember that you could listen to us on Spotify. If you can't watch us, go to Spotify, search for Fly Nubian Money. We're here Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. No, what time is it? 1 to 1 Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Also, we'll be here tomorrow. Same time, same bat channel. We'll see you. Let's look at this Black History fact.
This is Maggie Lena Walker, a trailblazer in Black American history. In 1899, Walker became the leader of the Independent Order of St. Luke, a fraternal organization dedicated to the social and financial advancement of Black Americans. Under her leadership, the order expanded its reach, providing critical services like insurance and financial support to the Black American community. In 1903, Walker founded the St. Luke Penny Savings Bank, making history as the first Black American woman to charter a bank in the United States. On its opening day, November 2nd, the bank had deposits totaling over $9,000 or $321,000 adjusted for inflation. By 1920, the bank's assets had grown significantly to over $500,000, which is about $8 million adjusted for inflation. The bank empowered Black Americans by offering loans and promoting savings, fostering economic independence and community growth.